Good morning, participants. While we are waiting for a few more participants to join, please make yourself comfortable and get ready for the exciting session ahead. To make our time together more interactive and engaging, we kindly encourage you to turn on your camera throughout the session if you are comfortable doing so. It really helps us to create a warm and connected learning environment, even though we are meeting virtually. If you have any questions during the session, feel free to type them in chat box. Thank you for your patience. We will be starting shortly.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit right with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on You raise me up to more than I can be. When troubles come and my heart doesn't beat, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and say goodbye with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up. When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden beat, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and say goodbye with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I'd lived eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains.
Good morning, participants. Welcome to the second session of the Early Childhood Special Needs Learning Series brought to you by Methodist College, Kuala Lumpur. It's wonderful to have you all here this Saturday morning. Today, we are diving into ADHD 101, unraveling the characteristic in 60 minutes. Whether you are sipping your coffee, multitasking, or just settling in, get ready for an engaging and insightful session that will help you better understand and support children with ADHD. We are excited to have with us Ms. Swan, a dynamic educator with over 10 years of experience. Her passion and expertise promise to make this session both informative and inspiring. So sit back, relax, and let's welcome Ms. Swan to lead us through today's journey. You may take over, Ms. Swan.
Thank you so much, Suresh. A very good morning to all of you today on a Saturday. I'm so happy, I'm so pleased to see so many of you having the same mindset, yeah, to further understand the dynamics of our children who may show certain learning differences or behavioral differences. So this session here is more of a basic awareness as well as basic practical skills, yeah, that I will share with you today on understanding our children who show certain behaviors that that indicates certain characteristics of ADHD, and also how we are going to assist or guide them through their learning journey with us today. Okay, so I think before the session here, yeah, you have been seeing the slides repeating that this is an early childhood special learning series. Okay, so last week, sorry, 2 weeks ago, we started off with autism spectrum disorder. And then this week, we are embarking on ADHD. All right, so then this learning series will then end with a 4-hour workshop, one that's happening in Penang this weekend, and then another 2 weekends or more. Yeah, we're going to have another workshop in KL, in MCKL campus. Okay, so feel free to register for the workshop, and if your institution or your center is co contributing to HRD Corp, you can also claim, you can also claim your funds through that and attend the workshop. All right, so let's begin. Just give me a moment. All right, so ADHD 101. So what is it about? Yeah, so anyway, Suresh has already given a certain introduction about myself. Just quickly run through, in case you don't know me, that I'm the program leader of the early childhood program at MCKL. Okay, so I have over 10 years, 13 years experience in the early childhood field thus far. And I'm also the Cambridge Professional Development Qualifications Trainer, where I train teachers, mostly from private institutions and as well as international schools, to get their CICTL or CIDTL qualifications. Okay, and I'm also a HRD Corp accredited trainer. And my areas of expertise are in special education, in early childhood education, pedagogy, as well as a teacher training. Yeah, so that's why I'm doing this this morning. All right, come. First things first. Before we even start the session here, let's go back to our childhood cartoon, the well-beloved Winnie the Pooh. Okay, so Winnie the Pooh, this cartoon series, they have very lovable, adorable characters in there, and some of them, exhibit certain types of behaviors, that make us understand our community better. Okay, so since our topic here is about ADHD, well, what is ADHD exactly? What does it stand for? It stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder. Okay, so out of these 4 characters that's on your screen right now, okay, so we have Eeyore. Okay, Eeyore over here is a donkey, and then we have Winnie the Pooh, of course, and then we have Piglet, and we also have Tigger. So if any of you who are familiar with this character, maybe you can answer this question for me right now. Among these 4 characters, who do you think will fall within this ADHD category? Okay, so can you just you can type in your answer in the chat box there. If you think it's Eeyore, you just type number 1. If you think it's Winnie the Pooh, number 2. Piglet, you just type number 3. And Tigger, you type number 4. Okay, so go ahead and spam our chat box over there. Yeah, so it can be more than one character if you feel, there are more, but minimum there's at least 1. Okay, so just type it in. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of number 4s so far. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, so for those who have joined us, okay, our mini activity today is for you to just guess, yeah, who among the Winnie the Pooh characters fall within the ADHD category. Yeah, ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder, and we have Eeyore, the donkey, we have Winnie the Pooh, we have Piglet, and then we have Tigger. All right. Okay, so far a lot of y'all, yeah, have answered number 4, yeah, which you're absolutely right. Okay, so Tigger, yeah, he has a bouncy tail, okay, and then he's always jumping around within the entire cartoon. Yeah, so you're absolutely right. That's Tigger, where he's very energetic, very distractible, very impulsive. Okay, so well done there for those who have answered the question here. Thank you so much for participating. Yeah, so definitely Tigger shows clear signs of ADHD. However, there's actually one more. Okay, one more that may not be that obvious. Okay, so later on we will learn that ADHD goes way beyond just hyperactivity or impulsivity. Okay, because later on we will learn that one of the symptoms that falls under ADHD category is also inattentiveness. Okay, and actually the second character in Winnie the Pooh that shows ADHD symptoms, yeah, you'll be very surprised, is actually Winnie the Pooh himself. Okay, so let me explain. If you recall how Winnie the Pooh behaves in the series, well, besides him always being hungry, yeah, or fixated on food, yeah, especially honey, he also shows signs of forgetfulness, yeah, consistently showing signs of forgetfulness. And if you watch closely, yeah, if you watch, maybe after this session, you can go back and watch the videos. He is also easily distracted. Okay, easily distracted by extraneous stimuli that is around him, yeah, his surrounding environment. Okay, so let's remember this, yeah. Whenever you talk about ADHD, when anyone were to broach this subject, maybe then you can think about Tigger as well as Winnie the Pooh. Okay, so let's see what ADHD is all about, yeah. So at the end of the session today, we are hoping to achieve a few things. Firstly is to define ADHD here, which I have already given you a little bit of preview based on the cartoon characters there. And we are going to also identify some of the classic behavioral characteristics of young learners with ADHD. And lastly, I will share with you some educational strategies that can help our young learners with ADHD in our classrooms. Okay, but of course, this session is a quick one. It's only an hour, so I'll just be giving you the gist, but also one of the most important um, characteristics or strategies lah. Okay, so let's dive in. So this is our content today. I'm firstly going to share with you what are the classic ADHD symptoms, and then how it affects our children as well as ourselves as parents, as teachers, as adults in their lives. And finally, the educational strategies that we can employ in our classrooms. Okay, so just a quick definition here. Why is it just now I mentioned that Winnie the Pooh falls under this category as well? Okay, you will see later here. Yeah, if you think about it, every one of us, yeah, every one of us at some points or some moments in our daily routines may have difficulty paying attention. Yeah, in fact, is nearly impossible for us to pay full attention throughout, let's say, a 3 hours lecture, yeah, or a training session even. Yeah, so paying attention, having difficulty paying attention at times is what we call attention deficit. Okay, and then another set of behavior is when we also sometimes engage in certain inappropriate movement. So that would be categorized as hyperactivity. Okay, so but that is normal. Yeah, all of us, if you think about it, we exhibit some of these behaviors on and off, yeah, throughout our daily routines or our lives. But what is the key word here when we are talking about someone who may have ADHD is when that person consistently, okay, so the key word here is consistently show certain combinations of behavior, yeah, that may fall under the category of attention deficit or hyperactivity. Okay, so when they consistently show this behavior, doesn't matter whether they're at home or at school or at work, then they may be diagnosed with ADHD. Okay, so it cannot be an isolated case where someone is able to focus and concentrate when they're at home, but then when they go to school, then they show certain behaviors of ADHD. So that itself is not consistent already. Okay, so if that's the case, it's not so much of the person having any of these symptoms or uh, yeah, any of these symptoms, but it could be more of an environmental issue. It could be the surrounding environment that's causing them to be distracted or causing them feeling uncomfortable. That's why they're showing inappropriate movements. Okay, so I want you to remember this. The key word here is consistently. Okay, now next. Now let's dive into the ADHD symptoms. So of course, this this video here is a little bit exaggerated lah. Okay, so but this kind of behavior is what hyperactivity or impulsivity is lah. Okay, and then the second one here, yeah, as I like you to remember, and as I mentioned, is highly forgotten. Yeah, because these children do not show much, how to say, obvious behaviors in class because they tend to be quiet. Yeah, they tend to be like maybe some of us may label as daydreamers, but most of the time they are often just being inattentive. Yeah, and then being easily distracted. So this is the inattentive part of ADHD. All right. So right now, the one thing besides the word consistently, the second thing that I would like you to remember about ADHD is that ADHD actually has three presentations of behavior. Okay, so the first one, which all of you got correct, yeah, when you have identified Tigger earlier on, that definitely is one of the categories of ADHD. But the second one is inattentiveness. Okay, so the first presentation here is ADHD that is predominantly inattentive type. Okay, so the keyword here is inattentiveness. Second one is ADHD that is predominantly hyperactive impulsive type. Okay, so that will be Tigger here. Yeah, so we have a mini Tigger here as a child. Yeah, all right. So firstly, the inattentive. Second, hyperactive impulsive type. Then we have a third category where a person may be a combination of inattentiveness as well as hyperactive impulsivity. Okay, all right, so that is what I want you to remember, yeah, at this point in time, is that there are three presentations of ADHD. Yeah, do not forget about the inattentive type, because the hyperactive impulsive types are the ones that draws our attention more. Yeah, because their behaviors are constantly disruptive. Yeah, when they are constantly moving around or even disturbing their friends and all that. Whereas the inattentive type, they are just sitting there quietly alone, but they are the ones that are highly ignored, I would say. Yeah, sometimes without keen observations by the parents or even by teachers. Yeah, then they may have a higher risk of being undiagnosed later on. Okay, so just be clear on this lah. Yeah, whenever people talk about ADHD, I just want you to remember that uh, you think about the hyperactive impulsive type, but also inattentive type. Okay, then the third category is that they are a combination of the two. Okay, all right. So everyone good so far? Yeah, so we have so far learned that the symptoms someone must show consistently. And then the second item is that there are three presentations of ADHD. Okay, so now let's move on to some of the classic symptoms of ADHD that are predominantly inattentive type. Okay, so let's look at the inattentive type, yeah? The first one is this, that the child or that person constantly makes careless mistakes in schoolwork. All right, and you may come across some of these young learners who are extremely brilliant, yeah, very brilliant in many ways, yeah, in many subject areas, in many domains, but somehow they are constantly making careless mistakes in school, yeah, or in any endeavor that they are doing. So this could be one of the symptoms, because they are not staying focused. Yeah, they are not being present. They are not being mindful when they are doing a certain task. Okay, so that is one of the first symptoms here. And of course, the second one is very obvious, difficulty paying attention in task, especially tasks that requires a lot of cognitive concentration, yeah, such as doing their homework and studying. All right, that is very obvious. But I also like to draw your attention to this word here, play. Yeah, besides them not paying attention at some of all these more cerebral kind of work, is that they also find difficulty in paying attention when they are playing. Okay, so you may think that, oh, play is a very natural thing. Children are all very interested in playing. Yeah, who doesn't like playing? But yet, uh, if they fall under this category of the inattentive type, they can't even pay attention when they are playing. So what are some of these behaviors? They cannot stay focused, even though the play or the toy that they are playing with is highly engaging. Yeah, so they are easily distracted. So they may jump from one activity to another very quickly, or even sometimes when you are engaging in some sort of play activity with them, something that most children will enjoy, but yet, they can't seem to feel fully engaged because they are highly distracted. Yeah, so they'll be jumping from one activity to another. Not They cannot sit still. Yeah, they cannot sit and then just concentrate on one play activity. Okay, so that is symptom number 2. And symptom number 3 is that they appear to not to listen when you are speaking to them. Okay, so be it whether it's instructions or anything, it's like somehow just mid conversation, or even after you utter just a few words only, yeah, you can see their attention being wavered. They are looking here, they're looking there, and then they're just not paying attention. And they are the ones who constantly, after you have repeated your instructions to them plenty of times, and then they are the ones raising their hand, teacher, what did you say? Teacher, then yeah, they are constantly not paying attention, even with you constantly repeating. Yeah, so that could be another sign. Okay, and because they have difficulty in listening, therefore, this comes naturally. The fourth symptom here, they have difficulty following instructions. Okay, yeah, because every time instructions is being provided to them, that's when their focus is wavered lah. Yeah, so they are not paying attention. All right, so these are some of the four classic symptoms of inattention, inattentive type, yeah, of ADHD. There's actually plenty more, yeah, but I'm only focusing on four today. Yeah, so if you join the workshop, yeah, that's when we'll go in a more comprehensive manner that will cover all the other symptoms as well lah. Okay, so currently you can remember that these are the four symptoms, and remember what is the key word here. They must show it consistently. All right, so that is inattention symptoms. Okay, so the second one is hyperactive impulsive type. So some of the classic symptoms that you may see is that the child constantly fidgets, yeah, when they are seated, or even whenever they are, yeah, they make a lot of movements. They may tap their hands or their feet, or they may squirm in their seat constantly. Yeah, so you can see that they are always very uncomfortable, being still. Yeah, so that is one of the signs there. And the second one is that they constantly leave their seats. So definitely this one of the more obvious signs, yeah, maybe in your classrooms, especially for the older preschoolers, the 5 and 6-year-olds, where there's more expectations for these children to be seated and doing uh, longer duration task lah, I would say. So you can see these kids, firstly, they may squirm in their seat, feeling uncomfortable and whatnot. And then they just constantly leave, and then they'll be disturbing their friends and all that lah. Okay, so that's the second symptom. Third one, yeah, you can see it's actually all interrelated here. When someone can't sit and can't sit still, they'll be fidgeting, and then after that, they are in need of more uh, movements, yeah, because they need to be highly stimulated. So that's why they want to move more, and this may result them in running around, and also climbing about furnitures and all that, yeah, around your classroom. And this is also similar, yeah, similar to the earlier symptom here. They are unable to play quietly. Okay, so you can think, yeah, there are certain kind of play that requires children to play quietly, like for example, working on puzzles. Okay, working on puzzles is one example where most children are highly drawn and engaged to playing puzzles. So they will put in, yeah, their full concentration on trying to complete the puzzle. But for a child who may fall under the hyperactive impulsive type, they are unable to do so. Yeah, even though it's a quiet play, whether it's like playing puzzles, chess, and all that, they their mouths are always in motion. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, so these are four classic examples of hyperactive impulsive symptoms. Yeah, that you may see in some of the kids who who are showing these characteristics lah. Okay, so that is a hyperactive impulsive symptoms. Okay, so again, yeah, I will constantly repeat this over and over again. So the the keyword is consistently. Yeah. So through your observations, yeah, as teachers, especially in the classrooms, if a child is showing certain behaviors on certain days, but then later on they do not show some of these symptoms on other days, then highly it's not because that they have these symptoms or characteristics, but it's more of the environment. Yeah, so if that's the case, then you may need to relook on your setup, your classroom setup. Could there be anything that is making the children feeling uncomfortable? That's why they are making inappropriate movements in class. Yeah, because sometimes colors that you use in your classroom, say, or even at home, may draw out, yes, some of these ADHD behaviors lah. Yeah, because if let's say you have a classroom that is of a very neutral tone, yeah, very calming tone, calming tones, then it's all right. But then if you notice that your classrooms or even your home, yeah, is too colorful, yeah, with a lot of graphics and all that, that could be a cause of your children, yeah, feeling a little bit overwhelmed and stimulated by their environment. Okay. All right. So that is some of the classic symptoms, yeah, of ADHD, whether it's inattentive or hyperactive impulsive type. So now we move on to the effects of ADHD, how it affects the children and how it affects us as adults, yeah, in their lives. So our children, the learners with ADHD, yeah, this is how uh they may feel. Yeah, they may be defiant or oppositional. Yeah, because they just feel very either constricted in the environment because of their hyperactivity, for instance. So whenever you are giving them instructions to comply to some of classroom rules and whatnot, this is when they feel very frustrated. Okay, because it's not that they are purposely, yeah, trying to not follow rules, but it's just their condition appears, yeah, make them appear to be not following instructions. Yeah, so for instance, earlier on we looked at some of the symptoms lah, where they cannot sit still. Yeah, they constantly need to move around and all that. So the symptoms are such that they cannot sit down. But then there are then classroom rules that expects them to sit down for, let's say, even for a long time of like 15 to 30 minutes. So because of that, their symptom, they need to move around. Yeah, there's a desire for them to move around. But then you are constantly reminding them to constantly sit down and all that. So that's when the frustration comes about and they may appear defiant lah, yeah, in your eyes. And due to that, they may also develop emotional and social problems. Yeah, because uh, due to their frustration, so they may lash out at their friends more or even at the teachers. So that's how this come about. And then most of them will also have sleep problems. So I think all of us are quite aware that when anyone is sleep deprived, that's when you feel very cranky. Yeah, when you don't have enough rest. Yeah, so that's another sign here. And because of all these issues, especially the sleep problem lah, when they cannot feel fully rested, they will of course have difficulty learning in class. Okay, so these are things that we need to remember lah. Okay, so therefore at this juncture, yeah, we have learned that they have sleep issues, they have learning difficulties and all that. So exactly how do they feel? Yeah, I want all of us here to empathize, yeah, with anyone, yeah, that who's who may be suffering from this type of disorder. It's like, every day in your daily lives is like you can't even sit still to watch a full program. There are constantly changing programs. It's like when they are trying to listen to the teacher talking, but then they cannot concentrate. So it's like, their daily lives is about battling with this. So that's why a lot of interviews that's being done on with individuals with ADHD, they say, it's like just like what you see here on your screen here. They are constantly changing TV channels. So you don't know what is going on, but there's a lot of things that's going on, but yet, they cannot seem to grasp what what is everyone trying to tell them to do, etc. Okay, so it can get very, very frustrating, yeah, for those who suffer from this. Yeah, so let us do a quick exercise here. Yeah, it's just more of like a simulation exercise here. So I will want you to try to read, yeah, read what is on the screen. Yeah, when I turn it on, I'd like you to pay full attention. Yeah, full attention to the screen right now. Yeah, with all these wiggly colors and all that. And I want you to read what the what the screen has to say. Okay, and I want you to try to concentrate as much as possible here. Okay, I want you to read it fast. Yeah, I want you to pay full attention and try to read what is on the screen right now. And I want you to do it quickly. Yeah, and see whether you can read what is written on the screen. Okay, done. Okay, so that was the mini exercise here, and I'm doing it deliberately just now. Maybe some of you may have been quite annoyed with me because I asked you to concentrate, I asked you to read, but yet I was still talking and barking instructions repetitively to you. Okay, so that was just a mini simulation that for you to feel that is exactly how someone with ADHD may feel when they are within a learning environment. Yes, they know that their teachers are constantly reminding them to pay attention. Yeah, just do your work quietly and do it quickly. Yeah, I know some of us, including myself, when I was a teacher, because we are short of time, we want to rush the syllabus, we tend to rush the children as well. Yeah, do it quickly. Can you all pay attention and keep quiet for 5 minutes and just do your work quietly and all that? But yes, some children will be able to do that, but not everybody. Yeah, see Kavisha here, she has written, yeah, I read only a few words only, right? Yes, definitely. Because when you have some of these ADHD symptoms, there's so many other things that is going on, yeah, within that is wired in your brain. You're trying to pay attention, and I'm sure just now all of you wanted to read what was on the screen, but it's just that you couldn't. Yeah, because that's how the brain is wired, because there's so many other things that's distracting me. Yeah, number one, the font size or the font color is so blurry. And then the colors and the movements, all those are the distracting stimuli. Okay, so that is how our learners with ADHD feel. So imagine day in, day out, when they go to school, when they come to your class, this is how they feel. So sometimes, that's why all these oppositional behaviors will show in the class. They're feeling defiant mainly because they are frustrated. Yeah, so like just now, Kavisha, you say you only read a few words. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you would have just read a few words and didn't know what was being said there. And then later on, some of these kids will need to take certain tests or exams. Let's say a class test and all that, yeah, or exams when they are older. They are trying to read. Yeah, most of the time, these children, it's not that they didn't study, they studied really, really hard. In fact, maybe even harder than most of our students who do not have these symptoms. But yet the results don't show, mainly because, yeah, you can't even read what was being stated in that simulation just now. Okay, so now compared to this simulation here, where everything is crystal clear. It's black and white. Yeah. And then you see the sentences come in one by one. Okay, so right now, let us all take a moment and read what is on the screen. Okay, all right, so if you see here how different it was, the content was the same, yeah? Yeah, whatever that's written on the screen is the same compared to the first simulation just now. But here is easier for you because there's nothing distracting you. It's only black and white, right? Then there was a peace and calm just now, right? And if you notice, when you are reading it, it comes in one by one, yeah? One sentence after another sentence, another sentence. So that's how most of us keep focus when we are reading something. All right. So I'm sure most of us have no problems reading what is being typed out on the screen here, right? Kavisha, yeah, you okay? Can you read? Can you read and try to understand? Yeah, what is stated here? Yeah. So the presentation of information that is given to our children is also very, very important. So if you have any children, yeah, any learners with ADHD in class, how you present the information is must be very, very structured, and you must break it down in later on. Is one of the strategies that you learn in smaller chunks. You don't give them one full piece of information all at one go. That will be very overwhelming. But just do it step by step. Yeah, just like what this simulation has done. Okay, then you will be rest assured you're helping your children to learn better. Okay, so because of all these things that's going on, they find high difficulty in learning. So this is how they feel, yeah. And I didn't come up with all these quotes that are on my own, yeah. Yeah, all these are taken from interviews, yeah, interviews with students who are suffering from ADHD. And it breaks my heart. Yeah, I think the time when I was preparing for this session here, when I read those research, and these are the feedback, yeah, the comments given by students with ADHD. Yeah, it really breaks my heart. Yeah, so let's see what they say here. Yeah, adults get annoyed because I've forgotten something. They spend ages telling me off and making me feel stupid. Yeah. So, and you can see just now from the symptoms that we have learned. Yeah, one of the classic symptoms of inattentive type of ADHD is that they are forgetful. Yeah, they make careless mistakes and all that. It's not that they are doing it intentionally. Yeah. So because of how we behave and how we respond to their behavior, it makes them feel stupid. Okay. Then the second one. Okay, this one is the one that was very um uh yeah, I mean, you just read this, very, very heartbreaking for me. It says, if I had some type of physical disability that they could see, they'll understand. But because they can't see my brain, I don't get sympathy at all. Okay, so which is very true. Yeah, because this is something to do with their uh neural wiring, yeah, in their brains, yeah, how their brain process information and all that. So it's not that they are doing it intentionally. Okay, so it's something that we can't see, but then yet we get very frustrated and agitated by their behaviors. And sometimes we tend to forget that they are not doing it on purpose. Okay, it's just the condition. Yeah, the condition somehow doesn't allow them to behave in such a way in how we expect them to. All right, so I just want all of us here to remember. Yeah, to just uh take a moment and reflect. Yeah, reflect on our teaching practices, on how we respond to some of these children, and remember that they are not doing it intentionally. And actually, whatever kind of negative behaviors that may somehow get to you is actually them calling out for help. Yeah, they are trying to tell you, they're calling you to try to understand them. Like, because they are not seated all the time, they are always running about. They cannot tell you, they cannot come to you and say, teacher, I have ADHD. Can you please help me? They can't do that, yeah, because of their age. They definitely cannot. So when you see these kind of behaviors in your classroom, that is a signal. Yeah, for me, I always find that that is a signal of them calling for help. Yeah, and then there's a signal for us to step in and try our best to find ways to help them learn better and behave better. Okay, I have my fair share of experience working with children with ADHD, and most of them are brilliant children. Yeah, they are so brilliant. They are, when I sat down with them, when I spoke to them, I remember one of the children that I worked with. Yeah, he said something like, I want to be good, Miss Swan. I always want to be good for you. I always want to be good for you and for my parents. But he just said, but I don't know why I can't. Yeah. And then this boy was like 5, 6 years old that time. Yeah. So that means when he says something like this, he is also reflecting on on his actions. It's like he wants to be good, but he can't. And he don't know why, you know? So yes, so these are, some of the symptoms, yeah, some of the signs, and that's how, we have to step in. Yeah, we have to step in and try to teach them in ways that they can understand. Okay, so because of all these, yeah, how it really affects them, we as educators, as parents, we must shift our mindset. Yeah, we must see that they are not doing it on purpose, and ADHD is a genuine medical condition. Yeah, a medical condition that requires specific support from everybody in their lives. Yeah, so I want you to now just shift your mindset and see it as an opportunity to help. Okay, I think that's the reason why all of us are here today, and all of us have chosen this career as an educator, is that we want to help. Yeah, if you want to say specific support, we want to teach. Instead of saying that I want to teach, I also want to provide the specific support that some of my children specifically needs. Okay, so now let's dive into some of these educational strategies that can help our children. Okay, so first one, just now earlier on, we know that they make careless mistakes, they can't sit still and all that. And again, yeah, they're not doing it intentionally, they're not doing it on purpose. It's because of the condition um makes them this way. So we have to reflect on our own teaching and ask ourselves, is my teaching structured? Is my teaching organized for these kids? Okay, so therefore, if you have children with ADHD in your class, or even though if you don't have, this is a good teaching practice. You got to develop structure in your classroom, because this will benefit all children with or without any special conditions. Okay, so learners with ADHD, they will feel safe and secure when they know what to expect. All right. So I need to screenshot the slide number 24. Okay, I can Is this 24? Yeah, you want to screenshot it? Okay. All right, Kavisha. All right. Okay. All right. So you got to, I think most of us, we want to know what is expected. Whenever we enter a class, or even let's say all of you who sign up for this session here, you too, you want to know what is this speaker going to go about. So which is why if you notice just now, all of us when we are teaching, we must have a title. Yeah, that we must tell the children, okay, children, today we are learning about XYZ. And like for me today, I said we are learning about ADHD. Yeah, and then I set out the learning outcomes, and then I set out the overview. Yeah, so I told you we're going to learn about the symptoms. Then we're going to learn about the effects. And lastly, the educational strategies. Yes, so all of us need that kind of structure, yeah, in order for us to understand things better. Yeah, so we want to know where we are headed. Okay, so just like when you are going for a holiday, you need to know where is your destination when you're buying an air ticket. Yeah, I don't think any of us will just close our eyes when we're on an airline ticketing website and just simply click there, not knowing where we are going to. We need to know what is the destination. Okay, so which is why it's the same when we are teaching. Children need that. Children need you to tell them what to do and what are we doing. Okay? So if you constantly do this over and over again, yeah, so it becomes very routine. Yeah, so you can keep to the routines. The more you keep to the routines, the better it will be for them. Okay, so there's less anxiety, yeah, in them, and then also less behavioral issues. Okay, because any change will simply create a lot of distraction, a lot of uncertainty and confusion. Okay, and we wouldn't want that in our children. So be good planners, teachers, be good planners, plan ahead, plan what you're going to teach, plan what you're going to do. So from the very beginning of the lesson, you tell the children, children, today we are learning about this, and these are the 3 things that we're going to learn. 1, 2, 3. Constantly repeat that to them. Okay, so then there is certainty. Okay, I'm doing this, and then the next I'm doing this. Yeah, because even for some children who do not have certain conditions, imagine if the teacher is constantly throw in an element of surprise in their classroom routines all the time. Firstly, all the let's say math classes are always in this classroom, and then suddenly you say, "Oh, we have got to go to the field. We got to go here, go there." It creates too much confusion, and it's very unsettling, yeah, for our young kids, yeah, especially those with special conditions. Okay, so please, yeah, teachers, be planners, please plan ahead. Please develop some structure and routine in your class. Okay, then life will be also be much easier for you when you can manage your classroom well. Okay, so that's the first strategy. Second one is, especially when you have children with special conditions such as ADHD, you got to learn how to give effective praises. Okay, so how many of us are guilty of this? Whenever a child does something well that pleases you, you will say, good job. Wow, awesome, excellent. Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of this. Yeah, because yeah, okay, they've done something that is right, that pleases me. I say, oh, good job, Swan. Yeah, well done. Yeah, but children need to know why are you praising them? Okay, which part of the activity, which part of my actions is worthy of your praise? I need to know that so that I can repeat that for you. Yeah, I would like to repeat that. So children with special conditions need you to explicitly tell them why is it that you are happy with their behavior? Which part of the behavior? I wouldn't know. Okay, so how do you give effective praises? Is that when you are praising, while you're giving praise to them, you should describe or define what appropriate behavior that pleases you so much, right? So highlight the positive behavior that's being displayed. So don't just say, okay, just because Swan has been sitting quietly listening to your story, don't say, okay, good job, Swan. That's not good enough. You got to say, good job, and then you continue, describe what behavior it is. So, Swan, I like how you stayed in your seat during our story time. Then little Swan will know that, oh, so that means my teacher is very happy whenever I sit in my seat when she's telling a story. Then I will want to do that more. Yeah, because who don't like praises? Even us adults love praises, right? And most of us, we thrive when people praise us. The more people praise, the more we want to do better. Yeah, so that is what we want to give our children as well. But don't just give simple statements like good job, excellent, well done. That wouldn't work. Okay, you got to really define, describe those behaviors, and you should vary the statements as well. Okay, don't just stick to a few, because certain statements lah. Imagine, yeah, I remember I got a wake up call when I was teaching children back then. Yeah, these are some of my favorite words lah. Yeah, well done and good job. So even before I say these praises, when the children know that I look very happy because they're doing something, and then before I can even praise them, they say, "Good job, right? Well done, right?" They even say it back to me. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness, these children know me so well because I have been overusing these praises. Okay, so vary your statements when you're given praise. Yeah, because when you use the same praises over and over again, it somehow loses its value and authenticity lah. Yeah, so you should vary it, and the best way to vary it is when you describe those behaviors that is uh that is positive. Yeah, so that the children know, yes, Miss Boswan likes it when I'm seated down quietly doing my math work, for instance. Okay, so remember that. Okay, so that is strategy number 2 there. Yeah, give effective praises. Okay, and then the third one is allow for escape valve outlets. So remember just now Tigger, yeah, all of you have identified him as having ADHD here. It is very unfair for us as teachers to expect our children to be seated down all the time. Yeah, especially at this young age, when all of them thrive through movements and all that. Okay, so you should, yeah, give them certain allowance of flexibility or certain allowance for what we call movement breaks, where you can allow these students to leave the class for a moment. Yeah, when you see they are feeling a little bit squirmish, they are walking around, yeah, they are not they are feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Allow them, yeah, to leave the room for a little while, settle them down, and then once it's done, they can return and ready to concentrate. Because what we don't want is for them to lose it. Yeah, when I think after a while, right, you know how your children behave in your class. When you know something is happening, when you even before, let's say, an argument starts, or even before a fight starts, there are certain symptoms there already. You can identify them. So you should take preventive measures. When you see that the child is feeling squirmish, feeling a bit overwhelmed in the classroom and all that, then you can send the child send the child away. No, the common one is, oh, let's just go to the toilet and wash your face, or let's drink a water. drink some water, or even you can get the child to run some errands for you. Like for instance, do you mind helping me? Yeah, helping me to distribute the books to your friends. Yeah, do you mind helping me rearranging certain things, for instance? Yeah, so just let them have some movement breaks. So rather than losing it, because once they lose it, that's when all these temper tantrums come about, or sometimes emotional meltdowns happen about. So you want to minimize that in your classroom. So observe, yeah, keenly observe, and then allow them to just have a mini escape, yeah, from what is overwhelming them lah. Okay. All right, and then the last one here is breaking tasks into smaller chunks. Yeah, I think I mentioned this a little bit earlier on. Yeah, this will help. This will help the learners with ADHD manage their workload effectively. Yeah, compared to when when you give them a long list of to-do list, that overwhelms them, including us adults. Yeah, I think now for us as adults, we have multiple tasks, yeah, and multiple responsibilities to do on a daily basis. And sometimes it can get quite overwhelming even for us. Yeah. But if we have someone to tell us to break down into smaller chunks for us and help us to prioritize, yeah, someone who can guide us, or for you as teacher, you guide your children and say, do this first. Yeah. Instead of saying, please do your maths homework from pages 1 to 5. That is too much, too overwhelming. So instead of doing that, you just say, let's start with question 1 of page 1. Let's do it together. Okay? Then that feels more safe, yeah, for our children. They don't feel that overwhelmed, not overstimulated, because yes, let's do one after another. Okay, so when you do that, when you break the task into smaller chunks, it's something that is easier for them to digest. Yeah, then it reduces their reduces overwhelm, that feeling of overwhelmness, and it increases their focus. Okay, so then this will provide a sense of accomplishment as well as motivation for them. So then later on, once they have finished just one mini task, oh, teacher, I finished question 1. Oh, well done, post 1. Well done that you have stayed focused and do question 1. You have given effective praise. You have motivated them. Let's try number 2 now. Okay, so then it becomes easier. Yeah, so it's like a step-by-step journey instead of telling you that, oh, I have to do so much at one time. Okay, just like if I were just to say, like for a personal trainer to tell you, okay, let's work out and do your strength training for 3 hours straight. I think before even you you lift your first weight, you already feel tired. Yeah, because you have that expectation. Oh no, that's 3 hours of hard work. Yeah, but if your trainer were to tell you, okay, let's start with 15 minutes and then see how it progress. Yeah, and then the more that you do well, and then the more your personal trainer praises you, yeah, you feel motivated, then you want to do more. Yeah, you continuously want to do more. So it's the same thing. Yeah, it's a psychology thing. Yes. Yeah, thank you, Lishi, for reminding. Yeah, it's already 11. Yeah, so yes. Anyway, yeah, we are almost done. Yeah. So um that is how I'm going to wrap up my session today. Yeah, is that yes, I know there are a lot of challenges whenever you have children with a specific learning conditions or differences in your class, such as ADHD. But I'd like you all to just take a moment and to reframe your mindset, yeah, and see this. Don't just focus on the disability, because if you continuously to focus on the disability and say, oh, this child can't sit still, this child does this, does that, then you are only focusing on the disability, and they are not seeing the possibilities of turning things around. Yeah, because we already have gone through that set of simulation already, and then I even shared with you how they actually feel Yeah, that some adults make them feel stupid and all that. So don't be that sort of educator. Yeah, always see the possibilities in how you can render the right kind of support for our children. Because those negative behaviors that you see in class, I see it as a call for help. They are just, they don't tell you exactly, teacher, I need your help. Yeah, teacher, I need you to teach me in a structured way. Teacher, I need you to break it down into smaller chunks for me. No, they cannot say that. What they can show you or tell you is through those behaviors that somehow that we perceive as being negative. Okay, so that's why in classes and all that, whenever I see negative behaviors and all that, there's actually a sign of the child asking for your help, asking for your support. Okay, so that another word of saying support is that they need you to teach them how to do things the right way. Okay, so yes. So with that, I'm ending my session today. Yeah, so just a quick wrap up. We have gone through several classic signs of ADHD. Yeah, whether it's inattentive or a hyperactive impulsive type. And then we have gone through a short simulation of the effects of ADHD on our children. Then the last part is how do we help them through certain educational strategies. So for us as teachers, please plan ahead. Plan, organize, create a structured learning environment for your children. When you give praises, please make sure that is effective sort of praises by describing what are those positive behaviors that you want the children to repeat. Okay, and then the task, make sure that you break it down into smaller chunks for them. And of course, the last one is to allow them to escape any moments of 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 them feeling overwhelmed. Let them escape for a little while. Okay, so with that, thank you so much. Yeah, I think I've overshot my time a little bit here today. Yeah, we started also a little bit later. So anyway, thank you so much for attending my session. So I hope you learn certain nuggets of information, or at least maybe some of you who are already doing it. Well done to you. Yeah, maybe this just extra validation for you to continue to do well. Yeah, in your teaching career. So we'll end the two online free webinars, and I hope to see many of you also to sign up, and so that there we can discuss more. Yeah, we can go through many instances, more case studies, and maybe you yourself can share your experiences as well. Okay, so with that, thank you so much. So before you leave, yeah, and then if you have any questions right now, yeah, maybe you can type it out in the chat box, and I hope maybe I'll try my best to answer your questions. And in the meantime, just before you leave, I'll appreciate it if you can scan the QR code that's on your screen here, or you just click on the link that's on the chat box right now and give us your feedback, or maybe certain things that you would like it to be highlighted maybe next time in our future sessions. Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. Okay, so I have a question here by Chua. After listening to the talk, I found out if the teacher or adult is ADHD, how they're going to work. Actually, they can. Yeah, they definitely can. They need to manage it. So that's why early intervention is very important, which is why we are doing it now. If and in your early years classroom, if we adults, yeah, whether the parents and the teachers can identify all these symptoms early on, and if the child gets diagnosed at an earlier stage, then there are a lot of these strategies. So remember just the four strategies that I learned that we have learned today. Those are the basic ones. But imagine if you keep doing this again and again and again, that later on the child who later on becomes a teenager and a working adult, they will be used to that kind of structure. And with a higher level of maturity, they will then be able to structure their whether it's their studies or their work much better. Okay, so it's not definitely there is hope there. It's not that they cannot do things. It's just that they need more support right now as children from adults. And if they constantly get that consistent support, yeah, they will be used to that kind of structure. And then later on, with that maturity, they can structure their own lives better as well. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much. Yeah, just take some time to fill up the feedback form for us. Okay, there's a question here, yeah, by CY. Yeah, will we be sent this session as a recording? We will reach out to you, and then if you need so, you can also reach out to our department. Yeah, then you may request for it. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Great day to you too, JQ. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your feedback. Okay. Have a nice weekend, Kyrun. Kyrun, sorry. Thank you, Shirley.